carports, and using the available space for the installation of solar panels is a terrific opportunity for us, for the community, and for the environment. We're thrilled to have successfully completed this collaborative effort. I would like to thank the Board of Directors for both the JCC and the Federation for their energy and support during this process. Many hours were put in by subcommittees and the Board to gain a full understanding of the scope of the project and the impact it would have on our organizations. I am pleased to have the opportunity to introduce you to the one person who managed this process from the opening bid process until today. Scott Cohn, our Chief Operating and Financial Officer, has put in endless hours learning about solar energy, how to finance the project, and put it into simple terms for people like me who need to help support the program and improve it. Trust me, that's not always an easy task. But typical of Scott, he handled it with patience, professionalism, and he stayed the course to bring the project to fruition. And oh, by the way, he had his day job going on simultaneously. And now he has all this time on his hands that the project has come to conclusion that he may need to find another project for him, so if anybody has any ideas, please let us know. On behalf of the boards, the staff, and our members, let me just extend a big thank you to Scott for leading this project. Scott?
Thank you, Bob. Today it seems like wind power might be the next project. So I'm so glad that you could join us on this special day. This project, as Bob said, has been 2 years in the making, and we're pleased and relieved that this day is finally here. When we began to consider the solar array at this building, we did so really for two reasons. First, selfishly, our goal was to save some money. As a non-for-profit, cost savings and cost predictability are crucial. Every dollar we save in overhead provides more services to our community and to our members. The second reason was much more nebulous. It felt right. It felt like something we should do, our own contribution to repairing the world. What we didn't imagine then was that the reasons to install solar would only multiply as we progress through the process. We have discovered that we have a platform as a community agency to lead by example. Our organizations and others like it can help in our own small way to slow climate change by being responsible and making the right choices. It's very gratifying to see these structures here that will produce 880,000 kilowatt hours of energy each year. But more important is the example this project sets for other organizations to follow. Given the amount of inquiries I've received since construction began, I'm confident that the message is spreading. I want to thank some people who, among many, helped to make this project a reality. David Pianco of Strategic Energy Group, who worked to pair our project with a solar provider. David Froelich of Solar Generation, who guided us in the early stages of the process. Ben Healy and his colleagues at Connecticut Green Bank. Ben's ability to cogently lay out the issues involved in the project to our board of directors was vitally important, as was the involvement of the Green Bank through the CPACE program. The town of Woodbridge and First Select personnel in Skalatar deserve our thanks, as does Terry Gilbertson, our hardworking town building official. I'll talk a little bit about Bull Rock Deutsche-Eco and Paul and Daniel in a moment, but I also want to thank all of the people, including Tori Royal, and all of the electricians and construction workers who worked to, over in very tough weather, often in cold and snow, to construct this over the last 6 months. I want to thank the board of directors of both the JCC and the Jewish Federation and their leaders, Stephanie Wayne, Don Hendel, Bob Felice, and Steve Miller, for having the vision to see the potential in the project and for creating an environment where staff people can pursue new ventures. I also need to thank the JCC members and users for their incredible patience over the last 6 months of construction, and thank my colleagues under the leadership of Sidney Perry, the CEO, and Shelley Gans, the JCC director, for their support of this project and for understanding its importance. Because I have a job with a diversity of responsibilities, it's sometimes hard for my children, Jackson and Ella, to understand what I do in a day. For this past year, though, frequently, they or my wife, Lori, have asked me about the solar project, and I would share the triumphs and challenges over dinner. They are my most important audience, and it often gave me pause to consider, as many parents do, what was the lesson that this project taught? I think the lesson is that if you give people the opportunity to repair the world, they will choose to do the right thing. The state of Connecticut, through the Green Bank, Bull Rock Deutsche-Eco, and many others, gave our board the opportunity to do our part to repair the world, and I'm proud to say that they made the right choice. In a few moments, campers from the JCC Day Camp will join us for music and a sun-themed craft project. It's my hope that they will grow up in a world where responsible environmental choices are made readily available, and that they will make those choices without fail. Finally, I have the pleasure of thanking and introducing two men whose determination and hard work were the engine of this project. Daniel and Paul, whose company Deutsche-Eco has now expanded with the partnership of Greg Beldock to Bull Rock Corporation to become Bull Rock Deutsche-Eco Solar, were more than just solar contractors. They were partners whose work at every level of this project, from design to implementation, was exemplary. I want to thank you again for coming and introduce Daniel Prokopi, the managing partner of Bull Rock Deutsche-Eco Solar, and Paul Keene, the managing director.
Good morning, everybody. Special thank to Scott Cohn. Without Scott Cohn, there would be no project like that here. Thanks for all your efforts, Scott. It was a pleasure meeting, and it was a pleasure working with you. I'd like also to thank the Connecticut Green Bank. My special thanks to Ben Healy. He did a terrific job, and yeah, we wouldn't be here today without the Connecticut Green Bank and with you. This is probably the biggest solar carport in Connecticut, and it's so far the biggest solar project financed by the Connecticut Green Bank, and I can guarantee you that this is definitely the only solar project or carport at the Jewish Community Center developed by a German project. Seriously, I think that's big, and I really like to thank the board of the Jewish Federation and the board of the Jewish Community Center for their commitment here, for their decision to work with Bull Rock Deutsche-Eco, with Paul and me. And with that, I think I want to introduce Paul, our managing director of Bull Rock Deutsche-Eco. And Paul, thank you.
Thanks for your time. Again, Paul Keene with Bull Rock Deutsche-Eco. I just wanted to recognize a few of the many hands that aren't up here today but are here in the audience and also elsewhere, who really have contributed a tremendous amount to making this project a reality. Of course, Jewish New Haven, the staff here at the community center have been a tremendous resource for us as we've gotten this project underway. Of course, the Green Bank, but in addition to that, I just want to name a few names. Terry Gilbertson, Christine, and Kathy, and the entire team over at Woodbridge. Tori Royal, our exemplary project manager, who was here many, many days. SMA, the inverter manufacturer, who has contributed a tremendous amount to getting these solar inverters to convert the energy into usable energy here. New Generation and Solaire Generation for their efforts to build everything. Vinny and his team, the whole team at Berg Electric. United Illuminating for working with us overnight to make sure that everything got on the grid just on time. And then, in addition, I'd like to thank and recognize that our partners are here from Bull Rock Deutsche-Eco, Greg Beldock, and the entire team that we have here from Germany, Sven, Ronnie, and Peter. And last but definitely not least, I'd like to thank my business partner, Daniel Prokopi. We went through a lot to get this project done, but I wouldn't do it with anybody else. So thank you for your time, and if there's anybody I forgot, I'm still saying thanks. So.
On behalf of the Board of Directors and staff of the Connecticut Green Bank, I want to say great work to Scott and and your team here at the JCC of Greater New Haven and the Jewish Federation. This project is a great example of what Governor Malloy and Commissioner Klee would say is delivering cleaner, cheaper, and more reliable sources of energy for Connecticut and its communities. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of this project. To Dan and Paul of the Deutsche-Eco group, thank you. What a marvelous demonstration of clean energy engineering. Clean energy, it's real, it's here, it's working. Let's make more of this. Let's definitely follow up and find more projects to do in and around Connecticut. Thank you for allowing us to provide the capital for this project to help support the project. And I want to acknowledge our utility partners, Alan Trotta, Tony Marone, Gary Zelansky, and the rest of the team at UI for being a part of this project. To Ben, Fiona, Bert, Gladys, Genevieve, and the rest of the staff at the Connecticut Green Bank that worked on this project, well done, well done. You are demonstrating how the financial innovation of CPACE and a low-cost power purchase agreement can lower the cost of clean energy and make it more accessible and affordable to consumers. It takes all of us working together to make projects like this happen. We are so honored and proud to be a part of this day, this project, this partnership with the community of Woodbridge. You are a clean energy community. Your support of commercial property assessed clean energy, or CPACE as we call it, means that your community-based organizations, multifamily homes, commercial and industrial properties, all have access to capital to support clean energy improvements on those properties. Thank you, Representatives Pat Dillon and Senator Joe Crisco, for your leadership in passing the CPACE legislation and for enabling us as a green bank to support communities in and throughout the state. Thank you for your leadership to enable CPACE to be a part of our efforts to lower energy costs, reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and create jobs in our communities. So I'd now like to introduce the one who made it happen and led the way to enable CPACE here in Woodbridge to help finance this project, First Selectwoman Ellen Scalater.
Good morning. What a terrific event and celebration this is. And it's been made possible by so many people. We've heard many of them mentioned already, but I would like to especially thank Governor Malloy, the state legislature, the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection, and the Connecticut Green Bank for creating the CPACE program, which is at the heart of this project. And before I go on, I know that Senator Crisco and Representative Dillon are here with a citation from the legislature. Please join us.
Thank you. On behalf of Representative Dillon, President of the Senate, Senator Looney, and House Republican Leader, Representative Clarius, and a host of others, be hereby known to all that the Connecticut General Assembly hereby offers the sincerest congratulations to the JCC of Greater New Haven in recognition of the grand opening of your solar carport. In harnessing the sun to reduce your electricity costs, so you can donate more resources to your core mission of community building. Thank you for being a shining example of efficient organization. The entire membership extends its very best wishes on this memorable occasion that expresses the hope for continued success. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's exciting to be here. This project benefits all of us, and I hope it can be replicated. I don't know how the scale works at different sites. It's complex, but as a member of the Environment Committee, I'm just thrilled to see like to say kudos and mazel tov to the JCC, to the board and the staff for taking on this ambitious and cutting-edge project. Shortly after I took office in 2013, I asked our Economic Development Commission to look into the CPACE program, about which I had some information, and to see if it would be a good fit for our business community. The value of the program was evident to us, and we quickly adopted it. This solar carport is the first CPACE project in the town of Woodbridge, and we are delighted that it is the JCC that has taken this first step. I hope you all can hear me. We have a little competition here. The JCC is an important community partner for the town of Woodbridge, and through this project, the JCC is setting an example for our business community about forward-looking and clean energy possibilities. I am so proud that the town's adoption of the CPACE program made this solar array a viable option for the JCC. And again, I hope that other businesses in our town will be inspired by this really outstanding example. This is a showcase project. Here in Woodbridge, we are in the midst of what we call the Woodbridge Energy Challenge. I hope this is a clean energy box. It is. Okay, good. Our Woodbridge Energy Challenge is encouraging our residents to go solar and to conduct home energy audits. We're also working on our municipal microgrid, which will provide power to the town center during prolonged power outages. And we're planning for a municipal solar array on our capped landfill to provide clean energy at reliable prices for the town of Woodbridge going forward. Like the JCC, the town of Woodbridge is committed to leading by example for a clean energy future. And now I would like to introduce to you a notable new Woodbridge resident who not only believes in our clean energy future, but works every day to make it a reality for all Connecticut residents. He leads our state in the conservation and protection of our natural resources and in increasing the availability of cheaper and cleaner energy for all of us. It is my good friend, I'm proud to introduce him, our Department of Energy and Environmental Protection Commissioner, Rob Klee.
Thank you so much, Ellen. I'm thrilled to be here, and really actually an inspiring set of speakers and words before me, and inspiring what you're doing here in Woodbridge. As a new member of the community, I'm thrilled to see all the great things that are going on in Woodbridge. So I'm here as a commissioner, I'm here as a Woodbridge resident, I'm also a member of the JCC, and I'm also a father of, yes, thank you. A father of two young boys who are going to be here soon. I sort of see them sort of, wandering around in the background. They're at the JCC day camp. So they were all talking, the boys were talking this morning about getting to see Dad at work. Although, it's really a pleasure to be here today and join others in celebrating how the JCC of Greater New Haven is going green. And it's really great to do that in a partnership with the Connecticut Green Bank, who's really been a great sort of partnership with the folks there between my agency and the Green Bank, and seeing the amazing things that are really happening here. And the kids are actually coming. If you can turn around and look, because they're walking this way now. So I'm going to stall a little, so maybe my boys will actually get to hear a few words that I say. I am, though, it is truly with the leadership of Governor Malloy, with the bipartisan support of our members of the General Assembly, and it is great to have Representative Dillon was my representative when I was in Westville, and Senator Crisco is now my senator here in Woodbridge. We're making Connecticut a leader on many energy and environmental issues, including on addressing the challenges that we face from climate change. And Scott, wherever you are, thank you for your sort of words of inspiration, that climate change was the inspiration for you, and it was your dinner table conversation. Those are the sorts of things that we do need to have happening at more dinner tables across the state. So I'm glad to hear it's happening at yours. It's happening at mine, and I do see Alex in the front row over there, and Jacob is probably coming soon. We're building a track record here in Connecticut that is truly the envy of other states. We have a comprehensive energy strategy here in Connecticut that is driving efficiency, renewables, natural gas expansion, and alternative fuel vehicles in the transportation sector. And it's amazing to hear how Woodbridge is taking advantage of all of those in different ways. And I have been part of Woodbridge's Energy Challenge. I've had my home energy audit on our new house, and I'm investigating solar. A bit shady around my house, but we're working on what's possible for the back 40. Energy efficiency, and now that the kids are in the audience, I might actually, as they're coming in, I don't know if you can hear me, how many kids actually know what a compact fluorescent light bulb is, or an LED light bulb? How many folks, if you raise your hands, how many of those kids do you think, I see at least one hand or two? So this is going to be homework for you. So when you go home, you have to ask your parents, do you have LED light bulbs in your house? So that's one homework assignment for the kids back there, because Connecticut is leading the way on efficiency. We're in the top 6 in the nation in energy efficiency. We've doubled the funding for cost-effective programs to $220 million a year, and it's paying dividends. Our efficiency programs resulted in $80 million plus in savings each in 2014, and those savings recur each and every year. Those are enough energy savings to forego a power plant, an entire power plant every 3 years. So again, by using less energy means we don't need to generate energy here in Connecticut. Okay, another question for the campers. How many campers have solar on their homes? This is going to be a hard one. How many? I see one hand over there. That's great. I see 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that's now a lot of hands. Well, so again, you can go home to your parents and ask them, hey, is it possible to get solar on our house? Because with our partnership with the Green Bank, we've had 10,000 homes in the past few years that put solar on their homes through innovative financing that the Green Bank has been leading. We also, with the help of the General Assembly, have started a pilot for shared solar. So the folks who like me, who have shady roofs, can partner with others in their community and to a shared solar concept where it's kind of a co-op ownership of a solar panel that's located in a place that has better sun than your house. Okay, one more quiz for the kids on transportation. How many kids have seen an electric vehicle or maybe even been in an electric? Yeah, my son does. Yeah, because my state car is an electric vehicle. I see at least a couple of hands raised. Okay, so this one, definitely go home to your parents and tell them now, we have $3,000 rebates right now it's our cheaper program to buy electric. Definitely go home and tell your parents you want a new car and you want an electric car. They'll really appreciate that I told you to do that. But in all seriousness, transportation. 40% of our greenhouse gas emissions come from the transportation sector. This is really going to be our real challenge if we're going to make our 80% reduction by 2050 goals. Governor Malloy has challenged us and actually relaunched the new Governor's Council on Climate Change to really address how we're going to get from our current emissions of greenhouse gases to that future where we emit basically 80% less than we do. Transportation is going to be a big part of that, so kids, when you go home, ask your parents about electric vehicles because they're now affordable, they're available, and they're really a wonderful option. I'll last say a few nice words about the Green Bank. We've really sort of taken a new tack here in Connecticut and realizing that financing is really a key sort of element of getting efficiency and renewables to scale. Scales of this size, scales of the home size, basically spreading it across our state in a way that's affordable, that makes sense for our businesses and our residences. And that's really the innovation there in how you get this stuff actually deployed is almost as important as the technology itself. You need both. You need this wonderful innovative technology and the right financing tools to get it out there and get it accessible and make it common, make it the standard, make it the common and easy choice, the one that's off the shelf, the one that everyone can participate in. So the Green Bank has been leading the way in leveraging our limited state dollars to really move private capital and the private investment that's so important to achieve the scales we need. So I'm thrilled to be here to see that the JCC has embraced energy efficiency, renewables. You've really been looking at creative ways here to save money and become greener, reduce your carbon footprint. And as a JCC member, I didn't mind. I was happy. There was always plenty of parking. It was always, the folks did great on the, I could always get in at all the right times. So you didn't hear any complaints out of me. I also knew what was happening. So. But it's when we have organizations like the JCC of Greater New Haven that are forward-thinking, committed to sustainability, and finding ways to promote alternative energy, it makes me really proud to be a member of this community and to see the great work that you've done. So thank you for having me, and I'm excited for this.
So I want to ask before we end, if I could ask Thank you, Commissioner Clay. It's good to know we have 100% approval from at least your house. So I want to ask, before we end, if I could ask Stephanie Wayne and Bob Felice to just come up to the front over here. There's a dedication plaque that's been affixed to kind of remember this day, and they could unveil it for us. And then we're going to have the ceremonial ribbon cutting. I wish I had my glasses to read that from this distance, but
This project is dedicated to our visionary leaders who sought to make a difference on behalf of our membership, our community, and our environment.
thank you. Thank you, Bob and Stephanie. If I could ask everyone who spoke today to come up front and help us cut the ribbon. And after we do that, please stay and join us for refreshments and some sun and power themed music, and enjoy the accomplishment. Thank you all for coming today. We really appreciate having you here to celebrate with us, and we look forward to more great events like this in the future.